new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host. The new Black.
Hey guys, good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, Certified Global Financial Educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. I want to say good morning to you guys here on this terrific Thursday, this 1st of July. We are into the bottom half of the year, and today we'll try to get to a new coin or introduce another coin in this crypto space called Compound. We've got a lot of news to catch up on here today as we get through this holiday of July 4th, Independence Day. And hopefully all you guys are having a wonderful week. Good morning to you, Mrs. Yvette Goodrich. Miss Bolden is in the house. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Now, as we've been covering throughout the week, we've been looking at cryptocurrency, and we're now looking at the Fear and Greed Index, which kind of gives us an indication of sentiment for cryptocurrency across the market. Sentiment just means how people feel about cryptocurrency, and we've jumped up from a 23, I believe, at the beginning of the week to now 28. So that shows that the people are feeling better about cryptocurrency. Money's flowing into cryptocurrency, and I predicted that we would see this probably through today or tomorrow. And then I'd expect us to see some trepidation come in over the weekend as we go through our holiday season. And then quite possibly we'll start to see a run-up for cryptocurrency after we get through the holiday. So I think it's a great opportunity to acquire more assets for, over the next few weeks to see some appreciation in your portfolios. But of course, definitely do your own research, make your own decisions. But just kind of share what I'm seeing here in the market as we get through this. I guess we call this holiday season, getting through Memorial Day, Juneteenth, now national holiday, and July 4th. And we don't see another major holiday, I believe, until September, which would be Labor Day. So we have a month and a half, 2 months of really no real disturbance in the market. And people needing to, cash out their money to take trips and things like that, as we're, I guess say, opening back up in our economy. So 28 is the Fear and Greed Index that we see here. A lot of news to catch up on here today. Since we missed yesterday, I want to try to bring you up to speed with some interesting news that's going on in the cryptocurrency space. Well, first take a look at the market itself. As we see, over 10,700 tokens have been introduced into the market. I don't like that. I don't think this number is right. But anyway, we have $1.38 trillion in the cryptocurrency space. Last we looked was at $1.45 trillion. So there's been a little bit of a decrease over the past couple of days. But we're just basically seeing the market kind of go sideways, doing some sideways consolidation, deciding whether it's going to really take off or break out or break up or break down. Now, I will say this has been what I love about where we are right now is this settling place. It seems to, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, seems to really hold in that $30,000, $33,000, $32,000, $31,000 range. So it's really holding a real strong support there, which given it, I would call some bounceability to begin to take off at any point in time to get us back. Hopefully, it can break through that $40,000 range. And then, sky's the limit as far as that's concerned. Bitcoin is representing 45% of the market right now. So we're starting to see some money move a little bit out of Bitcoin into some of our alternative coins as people are looking for opportunities in these other spaces. And we'll be looking at one of those alternative coins here today, which is Compound, which is another decentralized or DeFi coin is how we would describe it. Ethereum represents 17.9%. And a cool thing about Ethereum, guys, for those that are doing transactions, the gas fees have actually dropped even more. So I believe we saw this at a 13 and maybe a 25 as far as the fees are concerned to transact with Ethereum. We're down to an 8 today, and that's always fluctuating as well. That's going to be the cost. We would call that the cost to do business the cost of transaction. You call it a transaction fee. And as you dive into cryptocurrency, you see that you're probably making a lot of transactions in the DeFi world with Ethereum, some way, some form, somehow on the Ethereum blockchain. So it does cost. There is a cost, that comes into play to make those transactions, to be able to get those, higher rates of returns on your assets. But we'll take a look here at Bitcoin in just a second. I'm gonna do that here over on this side with Decrypt.com. I was taking a look at some of this news. There's just so much to share. But let's first see if we can really take a look here at the chart for Bitcoin, and then we'll get into some of the latest and greatest news for cryptocurrency. Oh, good morning to you. See, I don't know if there's anybody else that's typing anything. Let's see here. Miss Moore. Oh, what's going on, Miss Vivian? How are you? Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining. I guess I probably need to take this off the screen so you guys can see the chart. So let me do that as well. All right. So, so what we have here, guys, over the past 24 hours for Bitcoin being the, probably the most important chart to really begin to follow as you may look at other tokens. Bitcoin's, $33,000 now, down 4% over the past 24 hours. Again, as I mentioned, pretty flat over the past 7 days, down 2%, not much movement there. Got all the way down to $30,000. Now it's at 33. So that's kind of where it's been fluctuating over the past month, as we see here, down 7% from its from a mid high in June, mid-June, got all the way up to about 40,000. And then, so that's kind of where it's been traveling at, between 30,000 and 40,000 over the past month, the month of June. But hopefully we can see some breakout here pretty soon. But over the past year, we're still up 267%. So those that have a long-term perspective on Bitcoin, from June to June, you're up 200%. Although, you saw, a 7% drop over the past month from that 267. So, without that drop, you're really, really doing fairly well if you've been holding Bitcoin for a while. It also gives a indication for those who may be looking at Bitcoin as a possible investment. 200% is roughly the kind of returns we've been getting in crypto in Bitcoin over the past few years. So, really looking to see what the rest of the year is going to hold for Bitcoin. But the cool thing is, when it does make these drops, it holds. It really does hold, giving it a great baseline, which I consider to be kind of right now in this $30,000 range for the next run up. So these things move in cycles. People, move in cycles. News moves in cycles, and so does Bitcoin. I guess I could have clicked over here on news. So I do want to come over here to our news section, and this is Decrypt.com. There's some news from yesterday. It was pretty dope, and also from today that kind of bring you up to speed what's been going on. We'll take a look at all the news. So Jack Dorsey's back in the news. He seems to, although he's using Ethereum, he is a Bitcoin bull. He believes Bitcoin is really what you really want to acquire, among other things. I believe in a little bit of diversity in the crypto space, as you may find other opportunities outside of Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is the greatest thing since sliced bread, it seems. NFT story here. So we have a 18-year-old art surrealist, Ferocious, who auctioned off his art collection for a total of $2.1 million at Christie's. So NFTs are your non-fungible tokens. NFTs are basically, we can call it your digital art, your digital rights to I think it's a creator's dream. But he sold his whole collection for $2.1 million. So Ferocious, a trans artist, is now a millionaire. All right, so that happened in the NFT world. So NFTs have really been taking the kind of the world by storm. We mentioned earlier in the week, I think last week, that the web source code, Tim Berners-Lee, who was the World Wide Web inventor, he sold the source code. Again, he's the creator of that. He sold it as an NFT. That sold at Sotheby's for $5.43 million. So again, another huge NFT sale. Some people are really taking advantage of the things that they created, putting it out on the blockchain or the decentralized museum, so to speak, and really, racking in dollars here. So an artist, 2.1 million, World Wide Web inventor Tim Berners-Lee, 5.34 million, just selling their selling what they have created as a NFT, a non-fungible token, authentic, art or authentic. I guess we can call it art, but it was auctioned off. And his invention. So we have an inventor, we have an artist, we have musicians who are basically selling their creation in a sense for millions and millions of dollars. Now, obviously, everything doesn't sell for millions and millions of dollars. It comes down to what people find value in. Here's the interesting news here. Robinhood was forced to pay $70 million in fines over the harm to their customers. So if you remember, with Robinhood, they misleading communication, not allowing people to, buy and sell at particular time frames. So there was as you say, a lawsuit that was filed against them. And here was their fine, $70 million they had to pay. I don't know who they paid it to. That's a good thing. So they had to pay a fine for widespread significant harm suffered by customers. I wonder if the customers got any of this $70 million. Probably not. So I wonder where the $70 million had to be paid to. But it's the largest fine that was ever issued by FINRA, which is the agency which monitors that stuff. But in connection with a series of misleading communications, system outages, inappropriate customer approval for complicated trades, so forth and so forth. So they did have to pay a fine for their lack of integrity in that space for stocks that for the stocks that took place in mid-March of 2020. So if you guys remember that, blackouts, locked accounts, things like that. So Robinhood did pay for that, and hence to one of the reasons why I don't recommend nor do I use Robinhood. But there's some people who basically say it doesn't matter what a company, organization, platform does to them. They continue to use them and give them money and all that stuff. So at any rate, that's their fine for all the stuff that took place. You guys may remember, may not remember. It took place a year ago, and people were complaining about that stuff, but they did have to pay a fine for that. So Binance. So we saw that there was a withdrawal, or there was a suspension of withdrawals for our UK customers on the Binance platform. They have reinstated support for the British pound withdrawals with faster payments, a high-speed UK banking network. So you can't deposit, but you can now withdraw. So our UK customers on the Binance exchange, that it looks like, I think by the end of the year, will need to liquidate their assets, some fashion off of the Binance platform, are actually able to withdraw now. So they were able to fix that. Good thing. Twitter. So look at this. Twitter is dropping a collection of 140, again, NFT stuff, Ethereum NFTs on Rarible. So Twitter, the company, Jack Dorsey's company, the same company that Jack Dorsey who's saying he doesn't really necessarily believe in Ethereum. His company that he owns is dropping a collection of NFTs on Ethereum. So I don't know what it is that Mr. Dorsey, I guess personally you don't believe in them, but from a business standpoint, you guys will use them in order to put your created content out for a non-fungible token. Let's go ahead and click on this, and basically for your believers in Twitter to be able to make to be able to put this stuff out for people. The company says NFTs are not for sale. That's very interesting. So people can get their hands on NFTs for free via the company's tweets, said Twitter. Okay, this is very interesting. So it looks like this is more of a social thing. They created these Twitter NFTs not to sell them, but to probably reward people for usage of continue to use Twitter. So this is a way of we can call this customer retention in a sense. So this is another strategy that companies can use, because if I need to be on Twitter to find out when this Twitter NFT is being offered and how I can get it, then I would need to be hanging out on Twitter. So this is a form of customer retention. I would also call it maybe a form of customer acquisition to bring more customers or more members, more users over to Twitter for what they're doing. And Twitter is making some moves, by the way. I mean, for some, Twitter is not a big thing, but Twitter is still a very viable social media platform. They're using, cryptocurrency as a strategy to continue to remain viable. And so Jack Dorsey is a smart man. His company's he does some smart stuff, and I think this is smart. I thought at first it was going to be for sale, but it's handing out 140 Twitter themed tokens to users who can accept the bids that are racking up on NFT marketplace Rarible. So they're free. Let's see if they show anything. So it's basically is representing. Let me see here. Only 140. So it's very basically they're rare. They mostly represent moving images of the company's logos. One is a computerized image of a stone man sending a tweet. Another is of the word Twitter dropping out onto a plate in the form of gelatin dessert. So these copies, they got 7 different NFTs, 20 copies of each, making them valuable in a sense. Being that there's only 140, how many users do they have on the Twitter platform? Cool strategy that Twitter is implementing using the cryptocurrency space for customer retention, user acquisition, user retention as well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So that's another form of NFTs being used here in this cryptocurrency space. Let's keep going. A lot of news to catch up on. Good morning to you, Amanda. How are you? Thanks so much for joining. Miss Glenda Tate Williams is in the house. Good morning to you. Oh, Miss Goodrich, they raised about $100 million. Now it was $4.2 billion. Oh, okay, you catching up? What's going on with your brother Wheeler? How are you? Did Twitter drop $140? No, not $140. 140 NFTs. Just NFTs. These are just artwork. But the people who get the 140, that could be a very valuable thing that they now would own the rights to it. I wonder if it has what kind of value it has in the market once that's done. So there's a co-caucus chair here to basically some more regulation they're trying to bring out. Democratic Representative Bill Foster of Illinois has put out that laws should be passed to allow federal courts to identify holders of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and reverse crypto transactions. That's not going to happen. That sounds good, Brother Bill, but that's not going to happen. At any rate, that would defeat the whole purpose of decentralization. So there is a push, obviously, from some lawmakers and some people in these political spaces that are really trying to get a hold of our identity when it comes to the assets that we hold. But that's the whole point of decentralization, not to be subject to centralized government, centralized policies. So there's, that's the fight. Decentralized versus centralized. Morgan Stanley, look at this, the big name. They hold 28,000 Grayscale Bitcoin trust shares. So Morgan Stanley or big banks are getting into the space by holding trust shares, holding ETFs in a sense. This is not an ETF, but a trust share. So Grayscale is a investment arm that has put together a trust share. Morgan Stanley filed with SEC. They revealed that they own roughly $880,000, almost $1 million worth of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. That is money, institutional money that is investing in Bitcoin indirectly, in a sense. Coinbase. Here's an interesting thing here. We talk a lot about DApps in the marketplace. Well, look what Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, is looking to do. He wants to create a DApp store, kind of like your Apple store, where you will go to your store and acquire apps for your phone or whatever device that you're using. He wants to bring basically a marketplace, a space for people to be able to acquire decentralized apps. So this is very interesting. So a crypto app store, Coinbase plans to build. Coinbase looks like they're just extending their streams of income in a sense, creating more and more things for cryptocurrency. So that's pretty strong from Coinbase. As you guys may know, I think a year ago, and I don't know how long ago it was, but maybe about a year ago, maybe about 8 months ago, Coinbase went public. So they are a publicly traded company in the crypto space. They have to abide by all of the rules, regulations, and things like that, to stay public and to stay within, whatever the regulations are for them being a company. And here's a new idea from their CEO to be able to bring decentralized apps to its users. So I can't even imagine going to a crypto app store and finding all these different decentralized games, decentralized apps that I could utilize, I guess, on my phone. I guess that's where I would use it at. So there's now tens of billions of dollars of economic activity running on dApps, and a new trend coming out every 3 months, Armstrong said. We'll work to give our users easy access to all of this from the main Coinbase product. So this could bring, again, more users to Coinbase to be able to dive into this world of decentralized apps. For the utilization of whatever those apps are used for. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's dApps for everything, just like there's centralized apps for everything. But this is an evolving crypto horizon. He said, we're seeing crypto quickly mature from its initial use case of just trading Bitcoin to trading thousands of new assets and the adoption of new use cases like decentralized finance, NFTs, smart contracts, and decentralized autonomous organizations and more. Let's see here, man. Look at this going forward. He's saying, hey, man, the shift is going from shipping to basically 4 main countries: United States, United Kingdom, China, and I don't know what that middle one is. A blue flag with yellow circles. Is that? I don't know what that is. I don't know what country that is. But anyway, to basically now being able to provide services all over the globe. So basically going from your major power countries. I wish I knew what this was. What's the other one? That's not Russia. What is this? United States, United Kingdom, China. What is this blue with the purple? I mean purple. No, that's blue with the yellow circle. What country is that? I'm pretty sure one of you guys know that country. It's got to be a major country. It's got to be. Why don't I know that flag? I don't know. What's going on, Miss Tisha? How are you? Anybody know that flag? Anyway, so from being able to basically, disperse or distribute through these major 4 channels, these major powers of the world, so to speak, these countries that basically run the world, to now being able to, or to in the future being able to ship products to most countries by default. So that is interesting. So pretty soon we could see a Coinbase crypto app store, rivaling, maybe the first of its kind, and obviously it won't be the only one. But they hope to do what Apple has done with their app store. All right, once Coinbase provides the same function for crypto. So I thought that was pretty cool. Right? Why don't I know that? I don't know. Maybe I need to get my geography up. I really need to get my geography up. So anybody know that country? That would be pretty cool. Again, that is a blue flag with yellow dots in the circle. What country is that? You check out y'all knowledge here today. Still got some more news to go from, because that is just a little bit. I still want to go some more, because we got some more news to catch up on. Look at this. 650 banks will soon be able to offer Bitcoin purchases to 24 million customers. So this was the big news from yesterday. These next 3 articles really wanted to cover for you guys. So we have a deal that's been made between NCR. So if you guys ever seen a merchant place where you can swipe your card and stuff like that when you go to any store, typically that's probably an NCR machine that's being used to be able to process for merchant services. Well, NCR NYDIG has opened the way to approximately 650 banks in the United States offer Bitcoin purchases to their roughly 24 million customers across the country. So this is huge news, which could, again, bring in more money into this Bitcoin space, and also really show that Bitcoin is is currency. It can be used to buy stuff. It could be transferred from buyer to seller and all that stuff. And I'm just waiting on the article to pop up because we really need to go over this. 650 banks, more money coming to Bitcoin. This is why I say, towards the end of the year, we can see a lot of money flowing into this cryptocurrency space here today. So nobody knows what that country was, huh? I had to look it up. Country with a blue flag with yellow circles. I don't know why I don't know that country. I don't remember seeing it. So 650 U.S. banks will soon be able to offer Bitcoin purchases to 24 million customers. Can you imagine the kind of money that'll start flowing into this Bitcoin space? How valuable Bitcoin will become, much more valuable Bitcoin will become as more and more people across the world. This is the United States. In the United States, will be able to use Bitcoin to buy stuff, and it makes it easier for them to do that. So instead of holding crypto directly for customers, the banks will use NYDIG's custody services. So the banks won't have to cover or won't have to hold Bitcoin in their reserves. They'll be using a custodial service, NYDIG, who will actually hold the Bitcoin to cover the transactions that take place. So Forbes said this: the deal between digital assets management firm NYDIG, a sister company of Stone Ridge Asset Management, and NCR will enable community banks and credit unions to offer crypto clients crypto trading through apps built by the payments provider. That is huge news. I'm saying it again. It'll enable community banks and credit unions to offer clients crypto trading through apps built by the payments provider. Per the details of this arrangement, participating banks will be able to avoid the regulatory steps involved in holding crypto for their customers directly. Instead, they will rely on NYDIG's custodial services and will generate revenue by charging transaction fees, among other transaction services. So in other words, the banks say, we'll use this service. We'll tack on our little fee for customers that want to utilize this service. We'll make money without having to do much of anything other than basically get them through our custodial service to be able to then, I guess, trade their crypto. I think you'll see cheaper transaction fees through the banks than what you see today in the marketplace, but the banks do determine what they want the transaction fee to be, and that's from NYDIG's head of bank solutions. Brown also added that he expects crypto to demand more time on behalf of the bank's customers. Banking today is a daily or a couple of times a day activity for people, which is what we typically see. Crypto gets to an hourly or sub-hourly level on deepening engagement, he said. So there is a demand for crypto. So look at this. December 2020 survey carried out by Cornerstone App Advisors found that nearly 2/3 of cryptocurrency holders will be willing to go through their bank as a means of investing in the industry. So people still believe that the banks are secure, that the banks will insure your money and all this stuff. There's still a population of people who still believe in the bank, and that's a step of comfortability. But they say, hey man, if there's a way for me to go through my bank to be able to acquire cryptocurrency or do something with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, I'd be willing to do that. And NYDIG and NCR are creating the avenue for that to be able to happen. So if people are more comfortable doing it that way, and then they go out and do more of it that way, then that just bodes well for cryptocurrency, bodes well for, I guess you could say, for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and the value that it brings into the marketplace, because that will show a much higher demand, and also obviously a learning curve for that. So huge news. This is huge news, great news, huge bullish news for cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency as a whole. Again, 600 banks. And so quite possibly coming to a bank near you the ability to trade crypto through your banking your banking institution. So that's huge news there. Crypto.com inks a $100 million partnership with Formula One. So Formula One Racing. What is that? What did they ink? So a partnership. What's this partnership? I don't know. I don't know what the partnership brings. So let's find it out. I don't know if it's an NFT or what. So crypto.com. So you probably seen commercials for crypto.com offering your crypto.com credit card or crypto credit card in a sense. Okay, so this is for them to display its brand at Formula One Racing, help organize the development of exclusive NFTs. So now we have Formula One Racing, who will allow crypto.com, basically market some marketing rights, 5-year deal. But then also these Formula One Racing cars. I can see this. I can really see this. Because I don't know how many guys have ever wanted to maybe drive in a Formula One car, or maybe own some type of replica, because those are things that were very valuable for me, as a brother growing up, was cars and having how many guys ever had a, like a car replica in a box or whatever. So you can imagine now that going to a space where it is a digital, collectible, right? A digital collectible, which is the NFT space. So not only are they going to be able to market through the Formula One Sprint Series as a brand, but they're also working with them. I got to see this part with this NFT space, right? So Crypto.com F1 will develop various exclusive non-fungible tokens with the aim of connecting fans to the sport in a new and innovative way. So this is another NFT kind of article. So Formula One or F1 Formula One is going to be at some point coming out soon with their NFTs or their digital collectibles, and allowing fans to acquire those, whether it be that they be for free like Twitter's doing, which I doubt, or whether there'll be some pretty dope art of these F1 cars and quite possibly these drivers of these cars, and fans will be able to collect those NFTs and kind of like we're seeing with basketball, kind of like we're seeing with soccer. Pretty soon with every sport, they'll develop some arm of digital collectibles to connect with fans and allow fans to be able to bid on, buy from their favorite teams, their favorite cars, their favorite drivers. So much bigger, I believe, than just a brand partnership or for the marketing. I believe when getting into this space and bringing more fans into this NFT space, which actually means they're bringing more fans into the cryptocurrency space. Again, we're still on a bullish horizon for cryptocurrency, as as they're touching different markets and bringing awareness and bringing demand, bringing excitement, in this space. So whether it's basketball, Formula One, soccer, baseball, football, which is obviously the football is going to start. American football will be launching, be coming out here pretty soon. Get started in August and September. So you can imagine, who's going to ink that deal, and how's cryptocurrency? How are they going to play their part in cryptocurrency? So again, good news for cryptocurrency. Good news for our wallets, for those that are invested in cryptocurrency, because this brings nothing but more adoption, which brings more demand, which drives the value of these assets up. And then obviously, not quite sure which platform that NFT will be on, but probably we see that space in Ethereum. Now, talking about football, right? Here we go. TB12, the GOAT, right? TB12, Tom Brady. He inked a deal with FTX. FTX, we found out a week ago, did a marketing deal, I believe, on some arena. I believe it was some basketball arena that they now have their name on, the FTX Arena, whatever that is. But Tom Brady says, I want to be a pioneer in crypto. So Tampa Bay quarterback Tom Brady talked about his partnership with FTX Exchange and shrugged off the recent market malaise. He's not concerned about this temporary drop in Bitcoin. He had a conversation that took place on Twitter's Twitter Space. Again, if you don't know what Twitter Space is, that is the Twitter version of Clubhouse. And so he talked here about his new role as a brand ambassador. And him and his wife, Gisele Bündchen, they invest in the crypto exchange FTX. So Brady said he wants to be a pioneer in this field. He told FTX founder CEO in a half-hour-long conversation. Brady discussed his recent foray into crypto and why he decided to work FTX, a rapidly growing crypto exchange that has touted a charitable mission. Not only are they a crypto exchange, but they also have committed to donating 1% of all net fees to charity and has raised $10 million thus far. His wife, Gisele, will be the one who picks out those charities, and Brady will be one of the main spokespersons, main figureheads, I guess you could say, who pushes the envelope for adoption of cryptocurrency through FTX. So Brady said on the crypto side, it was FTX charitable mission that really attracted him to the company. He said, I got a call about a partnership. He recalled the call was from a guy I work with who has a lot of great knowledge about the space. He said, I really think this should be something you would be interested in. Brady took a look at it, and he was intrigued by the pitch of digging into the company led to an investment in his current role. He said, I'm really excited about the endless possibilities that we have to create things together. The idea of giving back to our communities, to our planet, educating people about what crypto is, and that's what's exciting for me. So it looks like this will be as Brady wraps up his football career as a I guess now what is it, sixth time, or maybe I think it's a sixth time or maybe seventh time. I think it's sixth time, maybe seventh time, Super Bowl winning quarterback. He has another mission that he'll be moving into, which will be being an ambassador for FTX, which ultimately means being an ambassador for cryptocurrency. Our belief in what you're doing and the great team that has assembled over a period of time gives a lot of people confidence we're partnering with the right people. Now, if you don't remember, also Brady, he has found again NFTs. He found interest in that. So he said he recently launched in April an NFT platform called Autograph. So Brady, not only is he a FTX ambassador, he also is an owner of a platform called Autograph, which is an NFT platform with advisors from several of the world's biggest tech sports companies, including Apple, DraftKings, and Spotify. Football player also said increasingly crypto conversation. He said a lot of people were talking about crypto in the locker room. You recently saw the laser eyes with Tom Brady. So he is a cryptocurrency enthusiast. The greatest, arguably the greatest quarterback in football history. And it'd be interesting to find out a little bit more about Autograph. So Tom Brady is a crypto enthusiast. Again, good news, more good news for cryptocurrency. When you have people like Tom Brady, you have these partnerships that are taking place. This is stuff that is happening, whether we see it or not. That's taking place down the pike. So those were that's the latest news I wanted to kind of cover. There's something else here, Uniswap on CoinMarketCap.com. Most of you guys probably won't know what that is, but Uniswap, which I think we've covered before, they now have basically a little icon where people can now swap their tokens through CoinMarketCap.com, which is where we go pretty much every morning. And they have a partnership with Binance, and now they have connected with Uniswap to allow people to swap tokens, their users to swap tokens as long as they have Ethereum-based tokens. So at any rate, that's kind of the latest news. Oh, what was that? Did I miss something? Oh, no, I didn't. That's kind of the latest news. I really wanted to kind of catch up on with you guys, bring you guys into the loop. A lot of money flowing in this space, whether it be partnerships that are being developed, endorsers, Bitcoin enthusiasts. Obviously, you have, good news, bad news as well. You have the news on the regulation side, which they're trying to kind of push, which is the fight. But ultimately, there's a space for cryptocurrency, and they're basically making waves. They're making waves in so many different ways, and I'll do my best to cover at least introduce Compound today. I don't know. Obviously, we don't have much time left, but I did want to at least introduce this coin Compound here today, which is, let's see if I can see it here, which we'll bring up here in just a second. I'm trying to catch up on these comments. What's going on? That the flag is, what's going on, Ms. Dewberry? The whole flag of Europe? Okay, I did not know that. So that's the Europe flag. That's cool. It doesn't represent, it represents the whole continent, not a country. Okay, that's cool. What's going on, Mr. Troop? How are you? Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, the infrastructure is growing. Adoption is growing. Belief is growing. And so that's why I say, like, where we stand right now, guys, it's obviously going up and down, fluctuating up and down. But I believe we're at a space, if you can, if you're in a position to be able to acquire, add to your positions, or start a position, I think it'll bode well for you as we move towards the bottom half of the year. It's going to be there's going to be a huge, if not already. We're talking about a huge transfer of wealth. We're talking. They call it generation changing kind of money. And what I've said to myself is at least put myself in position. So I want to be in a place where I can benefit from it, not just watch it happen. And at the very least, if it doesn't happen, I still tried. Right? I just can't think of too many places. Too many spaces, too many places that gives us that type of opportunity. Obviously, there are some that are out there. This is one of the newest ones that are out there that has been created, and I want my hand in all those pots as much as I can understand and grasp, just to kind of build. So that's kind of where I sit. But anyway, Compound, which is what we wanted to introduce today, this token. We only got about 15 minutes. We'll do our best. We won't be able to cover everything. Of course, this is an introduction, make you aware. But as you find these tokens or come across the understanding better of these tokens, it's kind of up to you to decide to dive into them even more so. But Compound is $335 token. This is in the DeFi, yield farming, decentralized autonomous organization space. It's up 10% over the past 24 hours. That's pretty cool. It has a 1.7 billion market cap. So $1.7 billion is flowing in this space, up 10% over the past 24 hours as well. So more money coming in, more money has come into this coin over the past 24 hours. It has a $10 million coin total supply, maximum supply, but they only have 5.3 million comp tokens that are currently circulating So they probably have some type of distribution schedule to release more and more tokens from the creators to the marketplace. If we were to take our fully diluted market, that would be all the tokens out. That would basically be doubling our money that we have in the space right now at the current prices at 3.3 billion. Volume over the past 24 hours is 63% increase in volume for this comp token. Trading, at $311 million in volume over the past 24 hours as well. So money flowing into this token over the past 24 hours. And we'll find out a little bit about what this token represents and the project that's behind it. This is the 49th ranked token in the cryptocurrency space. So again, you have 10,700 cryptocurrencies that have been created. This is the 49th ranked, as it relates to, basically it comes down to the amount of money or the market cap of that token. So what is Compound? This is on coinmarketcap.com. What is Compound? It's represented by Comp, which is a kind of your crypto ticker symbol in the crypto market. So Comp is a DeFi lending protocol that allows users to earn interest on the cryptocurrencies by depositing them into one of several pools supported by the platform. So 2 days ago, we looked at Aave. I believe we looked at Aave 2 days ago. Yeah, we looked at Aave. We may have looked at something else. Today's Thursday. I don't know what we looked at on Monday. But anyway, so this is what I try to do is try to kind of put them into kind of categories. So this is another one of our lending protocols where users could lend out their money, or i.e. crypto, to earn interest. And so we'll take a look at that as well. It'll look very similar to what we saw with Aave. They do compete. Aave is a little bit more of a little bit higher rank than Compound. So when users deposit tokens to a Compound pool, they receive C tokens in return. These C tokens represent the individual stake in the pool and can be used to redeem the underlying cryptocurrency initially deposited into the pool anytime. For example, by depositing Ethereum into a pool, you receive C Ethereum, or a synthetic or a mimic C Ethereum, or a compound Ethereum in return. Over time, the exchange rate of these C tokens to the underlying asset increases, which means you can redeem them for more of the underlying asset that you literally put in. This is how the interest is distributed. So if I were to deposit Ethereum, I would get a token that would represent the Ethereum that I deposited, kind of like how we used to be on the gold standard here in America for the dollar. If I got $1, it was a dollar that represented $1 worth of gold in Fort Knox. That's obviously no longer the case. That's been the gold standard was gone back in, I believe, 1980 something, or 1980, I believe, 1984, I believe. But at any rate, so this is basically a token, or I mean, this is very similar to how our monetary system used to work. We would get. This will be an asset. This will be our collateral. Will be the Ethereum, and our C Ethereum will be our kind of our token, or our promissory note, or whatever term you want to use, that will represent what we have staked, or what we have deposited. And so as that deposit sits in that pool and is then being lent out, to those who need to acquire Ethereum, and then they actually pay back that loan to the pool. Over time, you could then redeem your token, or redeem your note for your Ethereum back plus interest. And so that's how you become a lender. You can become a lender of your assets by participating in some of these pools if you decide to do that. And by participating in these pools over time, you would increase. You could increase the value of your asset, and you could redeem. Or you could, you redeem at any time and get your asset back plus interest, or asset back plus more of the asset that you lent out. So on the flip side, that's from the lending side. On the flip side, borrowers can take a secured loan on the Compound pool by depositing collateral. The maximum loan to value, LTV, varies based on the collateral asset, but currently ranges from 50 to 75%. So now we begin to understand that even in this world of decentralized finance, that not only can I be a lender, I can also be a borrower. I could borrow LTV, which loans to value, means that if I had Ethereum to then as collateral, I could then use that collateral to borrow, right, 50 to 75% of a maximum loan on top of what I own. So we see that in the banking industry now. It says, hey, man, here's your loan to value. Well, here's the value that I can get back based upon, here's the loan that I can get based upon the value that I have collateral for. So 50 to 75% LTV is something I could borrow against. I can borrow against my crypto, making it an asset, coming into this world of decentralized finance, allowed to use OPM, other people's money, to be able to do whatever it is I wanted to do. The interest rate paid varies by borrowed asset. Borrowers can face automatic liquidation if the collateral falls below a specific maintenance threshold. Since launch of Compound Main in 2018, the platform has skyrocketed in popularity and recently passed more than $800 billion in total locked value. Now, that would be locked value would be the liquidity that they have in this Compound space. We'll take a brief look at here today. It's founded back in 2017. We don't have time to really cover that. What makes Compound unique? According to Compound, the majority of cryptocurrencies sit idle on exchange platforms. So just imagine if you do have a Coinbase or a Gemini or Binance or whatever it is that you might be using, even in your cold wallets, is the crypto that you've accrued, if you've accrued any, is it sitting there idle? In other words, is it waiting for the market to move up or down? Well, you can still own that asset in a sense, and but use that asset, not use it, but lend that asset out to earn interest on the asset, or use that asset to to borrow against, in a sense, if you wanted to do some things, versus it just sitting there doing nothing. In other words, activating your asset is basically what they're saying. Hey, here's a way for you to activate your asset. You don't have to, it doesn't have to just sit there. It could actually be doing something. It could actually be earning money for you. It could be providing some liquidity for you. It could be adding. It could be used to add to to give you some breathing room, in a sense, especially since where we are today, where people may need access to capital. Can you imagine? You've acquired some crypto over time. You need access to capital, and then you need some access to capital, and then you just use your crypto to access that capital, where you don't have to go, and it's not depending upon your credit score, it's not depending upon your race, it's not depending upon your age, other than you're of age. And I just say, hey, here's what you're bringing to the table as far as what you have accrued, your accumulation of your assets, and here's what you can get. Here's the capital that you can get based upon the assets that you have accumulated. So this is the world of decentralized finance. Hopefully, I'm making sense to people. I know it's in the world of finance, or the discussion of finance or money, it could be complicated for some, but this is an alternative, I would say, to our current centralized banking system, where there are so many hoops, so much redlining, so much tape you have to go through in order to use your assets to get access to capital. Compound's community governance sets it apart from other similar protocols. Holders of the platform's native governance token, Comp, can propose changes to the protocol, debate, and vote whether to implement changes suggested by others without any involvement from the Compound team. This can include choosing which cryptocurrencies to add or support. In other words, the community determines which cryptocurrencies they may add to the pools and allow people to collateralize and all that stuff, adjusting collateralized factors and making changes to new comp tokens are distributed. So we'll take a quick look here at their website, which you guys can go to. It's compound.finance.com. I believe compound.finance.com. Here is the Compound protocol. Currently has 69 million BAT earning interest, 167 million of comp earning interest at 0.195. See what else they have. They have $2.4 billion dollars of DAI. That's another cryptocurrency earning point something. Ethereum, very low interest there, 2.5 on Ethereum. Interesting there. 659 million of Chainlink, which we'll probably cover tomorrow. 121 million of Tether. And those are some of the rates that they have available as well. It's an algorithmic, autonomous internal interest rate protocol built for developers to unlock universe of open financial applications. Now, what we saw there was the market, which we'll look at in just a second. Here's your institutions. It looks like some institutions that are adopting Compound, Curve, Ledger, Coinbase Custody. Here's they got a little earn tab here where you could earn, and these are different tokens, it looks like, or different pools. And we looked at BarnBridge. Okay, yeah, we looked at BarnBridge on Monday. Okay, so BarnBridge is on here. Exodus, Zengo, Binance. So these are different places to earn, utilize earning. Here's the management of the Compound and different protocols that are being used to manage it. And then we take a look at the market, which we were just at, and we can see the rates have actually decreased. So as the market has shifted to a downward trend, they have to the rates go down, liquidity. They have more liquidity. They have more liquidity than is needed for what's being borrowed. So they reduce rates on those particular tokens because they don't need them as much, right? Look at it, it's at 2.4 million Ether out there, but only paying 0.17 in this particular pool for you to supply that ether for 0.17%. So rates are kind of low, it looks like over here. USDC coin 1.29, 2.15. And rates are subject to change based upon the supply and demand. So as there is more of a demand for borrowing those particular tokens, I would imagine that and they supply, is small. Then I would imagine that the rates will go up, and vice versa. When there's when there's low demand for those for that asset, and there's a huge supply, I'd imagine that they would reduce their APY because they don't need those tokens as much for liquidity purposes. That's kind of how that will work. And so that is very interesting there. So here's the Compound network, where this is just one of many. It's a lot of competition in the DeFi space. Here's one of many of these DeFi, what we call them, decentralized finance protocols. Compound is one of them. So this is the protocol that's behind the token, so to speak. And but by acquiring Comp, you are actually helping. You're actually bringing liquidity, I would say, into the Compound protocol. And then some frequently asked questions here on the website. You can find Compound is the ERC20, so it is Ethereum token. Comp token holders and their delegates debate, propose, and vote on all changes to the protocol. By placing Comp directly into the hands of users and applications, increasing large ecosystems will be able to upgrade the protocol and will be incentivized to collectively steward the protocol in the future with good governance. So what's really happening here, guys, is a lot of competition in this decent DeFi space. And, they're all vying to be, I would say it won't be just one. Because if I think about our current system, there's more than one bank, right? I mean, we have plenty of banks and plenty of different credit unions. So there's going to be more than just one protocol that's vying in the space, but you will have some that's going to stand out from the crowd to be the most popular, to be the most adopted, to be the most used. And it may come down to, comparing the interest rates. It may come down to ease of use. It may come down to, obviously the protection of assets as well. But here's some of the things that's happening in the DeFi, in the cryptocurrency space. And Compound is just one of them. Okay. Compound is just one of them. So you can check them out, at compound.finance.com. If you want to check out Compound, you can acquire the token across different exchanges. And again, this is just another space in the cryptocurrency where moves are being made. So check them out here. And if this is something that interests you, do your research, find out more information, and decide for yourself if Compound token is something you want to add to your portfolio. So anyway, guys, that's our time here today on the Money and Power Show. Really catching up on the crypto news, diving into this cryptocurrency, introducing this thing called Compound to you guys, learn a little bit about what it is, what it does, and all that good stuff. If you've learned something here today, you just basically just put some pineapples in the chat showing that you have picked up some new knowledge that you didn't have before you joined us here today. Well, beautiful people, I want to say thanks so much for tuning in today to today's episode of the Money and Power Show. We'll be back tomorrow. Not quite sure what we'll cover tomorrow. Probably another protocol in the DeFi space, but a lot of excitement taking place here. Again, I'd expect us to have a little downturn over the weekend. And then once we get past this last holiday, I think we'll see some real activity taking place in the cryptocurrency space. I want you guys to remember this, man, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The new Black Wall Street.